Loading. Welcome to Access the Animus.
Hello everyone and welcome to our new community reactions video here on Access the Animus. My name is Marco and today we're going to turn the spotlight on your comments. How was the week? It was pretty uneventful in terms of Assassin's Creed stuff up until the time of recording, which is Wednesday. So that's why we are coming here to you with a new community reactions video. You know the drill. We ask you a question on our social media over the weekend, usually on any kind of Assassin's Creed related topic. And if you like your comment to be featured in our next video, in our next community reactions video, you can answer by using the hashtag ATA Labs. And this week you guys answered with so many comments on our social media, on the YouTube community tab. It was crazy, and this week we moved on to a new topic. We moved on from the rumored Assassin's Creed Rift project, and we moved on to a new topic that is the crossovers, the Assassin's Creed crossovers. And this is like a very hot topic for the fans. You guys answered so much to our question, which was: which crossover between any of the Assassin's Creed characters would you like to see in the future? Let your imaginations go wild. And like I said, a lot of you commented with different opinions, different characters, different ideas, so I can't wait to dive in. So let's have a look at what you had to say. So as we did last week, we organized your comments around 4 different categories that pretty much encompass your most coveted crossovers and the crossovers that you would like to see the most. So the biggest category here, the one that received the most comments, is the one that would like to see a crossover between Connor, Arno, and Shay Patrick Cormac from Assassin's Creed 3, Unity, and Rogue. And then a lot of comments came asking for a crossover between Aya and Cassandra, or Bayek and Cassandra. Then we had a few comments asking for a crossover between Cassandra and Altair that I really didn't expect to see. And also we had a few comments about crossovers that cannot really happen story-wise because of the historical times, but some pieces of Eden can make that happen somehow. So we're gonna discuss that as well. And like I mentioned, the first category, the biggest one, is the one about Connor, Arno, and Shay Cormac from Assassin's Creed 3, Unity, and Rogue. The first comment that we are highlighting here is by Jake, who is saying, "Everyone wants Connor, Arno, and Shay to cross paths. It feels meant to be. Heck, I bet they could even squeeze Evelyn into that story as well." I do agree with that. Then we have the Altair's Bloodline, who is saying, "I would like to see Arno Dorian and Shay Patrick Cormac in Assassin's Creed Unity for the story. Arno will search who murdered his father, and Shay Patrick Cormac will have to kill Arno as a target." I don't know if it's possible, but it could be the answer for Arno. And then we have Hernan, who is mentioning actually 2 potential crossovers. One is involving Arno and Shay in a story where Arno finds out that Shay is the murderer of his father and wants to seek revenge also with the aid of Connor in his trip to France. And the second one, kind of like a spoiler for the other category here, is between Aya and Cassandra in Rome, that show how Cassandra got her hidden blade and knowing about the hidden ones. So yeah, I really would like to see this crossover between Connor, Arno, and Shay. The possibilities are already there. They belong to they pretty much belong to the same historical period. Shay would be in his later years. Shay would be pretty old because he actually was active in the 1750s, while Arno and Shay are towards the end of the century. But yeah, absolutely, Arno could hunt for the murderer of his father, and now they are assassins and Templars. Arno is a proper assassin after the end of the Dead King's DLC, and also Connor. Now, we know that at some point there's no more information about what happened to the manor, to the homestead in the U.S. But Connor could still be active at the beginning of the 1800s, and that's where the characters could meet, and it could be an amazing crossover. Though I don't see that happening in game, because at this point, unless it's created from scratch, which I would love to see, but like I mentioned in the streams recently, it seems like Ubisoft doesn't believe that Arno and Connor are, and Shay to a degree, are not really marketable, and there's not a lot of fans for Arno and Connor, which I would absolutely disagree with. Actually, we can actually show a comment that was shared by Donnie here, who was actually asking for a crossover between Connor and Evelyn, or Connor and Shay, or Connor and Arno. I just need more Connor, and I agree with that. I would like to see more Connor, and I would like to see more Arno. Arno hasn't even been shown, if I'm correct. Arno hasn't been shown as a playable character in the mobile game Assassin's Creed Rebellion, which pretty much has any Assassin's Creed character and their mother in the game, and Arno is not there. So yeah, but yeah, like, back to the topic at hand, that would be an amazing crossover. I can see that happening in transmedia more likely than in-game, even though it would be much better to see that, of course, in-game. And then the second category that we mentioned earlier is a crossover between Aya or Bayek and Cassandra. Of course, that's a connection to what we also saw at the end of the Odyssey part of the crossover between Odyssey and Valhalla. And we have a few comments here. The one is by Atef, who is saying, I want a crossover between Cassandra and Aya and Bayek, but I would like the protagonist to be Aya. A lot of you would like to see Aya as a protagonist of that crossover. I don't really mind if they acknowledge them being related or not, that is Cassandra and Aya, but I would like for them to show how the Hidden Ones in Rome are doing, and to see more into Aya's personal thoughts. She's pretty closed off to Bayek during the game, during Origins, and having a friend to open up to would be good for her. Aya could be the one to give her the Hidden Blade. That would be pretty cool. I agree with that Aya was a bit closed off in Origins, so it would be very interesting to see her open up to her ancestor. So that would be cool. Then we have Alessio's comment on Facebook, where he mentions absolutely Cassandra and Aya in Rome, not only because of their parental relationship, which surely has to be explored in depth, but also to make evidence of the differences between a proto-assassin and the Hidden Ones clear once and for all. That's also very important. We're gonna discuss that in a moment. And then we have Dominic, who is also saying Aya slash Amunet with Cassandra. Would love to hear all the stories from Elpidios up until Aya was born. So yeah, a crossover between Aya and Cassandra would have a huge potential. And I see a lot of you asking for it taking place in Rome, which is pretty cool actually. So not necessarily in Egypt, but where Aya is now Amunet. So managing the operations of the Hidden Ones in Rome, after we saw the events at the end of Assassin's Creed Origins and in the Origins comics as well. So that would be very interesting to see a comparison and the differences between Cassandra just being herself and yes, obtaining her Hidden Blade, while Aya and Amunet is very much a hidden one now. Like, she is an assassin, and then she might be telling Cassandra about what the Hidden Ones are, compared to the philosophy that she might have heard from Darius, and at the same time Cassandra could tell Aya about her ancestry, so about her, about Elpidios and whatnot. So that would be super interesting, honestly. And then the other category that we mentioned is a crossover between Cassandra and Altair. We have a comment by Croton, or Ashes YY, saying, Cassandra and Altair, I want to hear Altair say Malaka in a hookah bar, while Cassandra ridicules him for cutting his ring finger on a hidden blade, for the hidden blade. Honestly, I wouldn't really like to see Altair being ridiculed. Never, pretty much never, because Altair has been built as a character that is super serious, very much into the creed, very much into the tenets and the ironies about the tenets. So it would be nice to see some funnier side of Altair, but not him being ridiculed. Like, he is the epitome of the serious assassin, so I wouldn't like to see that change, honestly. And then we have another comment by Celebrimore, who is saying, I would love a game with Cassandra and Altair, and then Arno and Connor come in, like what happened in Assassin's Creed Revelations, where Altair and Cassandra could have left messages for future assassins, that being Arno and Connor, and then they somehow have a conflict with Shay, where Arno kills him. That would be the would be Assassin's Creed Endgame. Like, that would be like the biggest crossover, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe of Assassin's Creed. That would be cool. I think that the assassins being able to leave messages for the future through the memory disks or any other kind of first civilization technology would be a way to have different assassins in the same piece of content without having them meet together. And so it would be cool to see Cassandra and Altair meet, yes. And it would also be very interesting to make use of those memory disks that Altair found in Alamut. And those memory disks could actually imply different other assassins who could receive them in the future, like Ezio did. And on that note, we can actually move on to the final category of your comments about the crossovers that historically could not really happen, or it would be pretty stretched, but they could happen through the use of some first civilization technology, like the memory disks, as I mentioned earlier. So we have Shaban, I think that's the pronunciation of your name. I hope I didn't mess it up. And the comment is, I would love to see Arno meet the Fry twins. Evie would be exasperated with dealing with two absolute dorks trying to one-up each other, but Jacob and Arno would have a blast together, yes. I would love to see that. Even if it were not a canon story, it would be cool to see some fun story. Like, if it's not canon, then it's fun. Like, if it's announced from the beginning that this story is not canon, we're just having fun, that would be cool. And if it's not the direction where Assassin's Creed is going, and if it's just for fun, I would love to see that. And Giuseppe is suggesting, at the moment, one of the crossovers that I'd like to see more is Basim / Altair, because Assassin's Creed Rift seems to be real, and an Assassin's Creed 1 remake seems to be likely to exist in the future. I think that would be the definitive way to bond the Hidden Ones to the Assassins, yes. The thing is, Basim lived in a time that is 300 years before Altair. So, and I'm sure Giuseppe knows, because like you are a huge commenter on our story analysis videos. So yeah, that would be cool to see. And again, some memory disks could make this happen, like with Basim leaving messages to Altair. Who knows? That might happen. Who knows? We could see that in Rift. Who knows? And it would be cool to see that Altair is learning from another hidden one from the past, and that would be a tie, a spiritual tie in a way between the characters. Even though Basim is still a negative character in a way in Valhalla, but if Rift is actually going to be true, we might see him before he is possessed by Loki, so who knows. And then we have VL Reader, who is saying 3 girls could have a very interesting adventure together, Evelyn, Evie, and Aya. Again, yes, that would be very interesting, though it's not possible history-wise, but again, in a fantasy environment, in a grounded environment, but a non-canon one. Sure, that could happen, and it could be nice to have like a game with a lot of female characters and see how they could behave together. And that was it for our new community reactions video. Guys, thank you so much for all the comments that you shared. It was a blast reading through all of them and to discuss them today. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, keep your eyes out on our social media and on the community tab here on the channel. We're going to ask a new question over the weekend, so if you'd like your comment to be shared on our next community reactions video, make sure to use the hashtag ATA Labs. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel to be up to date on all of our activities. We have just recently released a video dedicated to the translation of all of Tira's dialogues in the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC of Valhalla, and in the coming days, probably tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, we're going to release the third episode of our story analysis of the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.